sipping Aquafina, I'm sipping 15, kept a weapon on me.
Vivo fans, you have not got long to wait for a new device. The Vivo Z5 is going to be released on the 31st of this month. All of the details of the device have been registered already, so let's go through what this device is going to give us when it's released on the 31st. Also, just to mention, Vivo are releasing a 5G phone very soon as well. That has also been registered. Vivo sent out a notice in China saying that that 5G phone is coming very soon. The new Z5 definitely isn't a 5G phone though. This is coming in probably as a mid-range device, but the specs look pretty decent. We'll just have to wait for the price to see if it's a good deal or not. So according to the registry specs, this is going to come in with a processor clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. If you look at Snapdragon processors at 2.3 gigahertz, that works out at the Snapdragon 712. So that puts it right in the mid-range. It's not the top end of mid-range with the Snapdragon 730, but it's good that we're getting the 712, which is an upgraded version of the 710. Plenty powerful enough, and apparently coming with 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, anywhere from 64 to 256 gigabytes of storage. As is usual with Vivo devices, even with the mid and budget devices that Vivo give us, they usually use AMOLED screens. The Z5 is no different. It will have an AMOLED screen, an HD screen, 1080 by 2340, 6.38, 6.4 inches, the usual size. Something good about this phone is it apparently has an under-screen fingerprint sensor on there. Using the Snapdragon 712 will enable that, so no problems there. Unlike recent phones, which Vivo has released with the cutout or the hole punch, this one apparently will just keep the water drop notch. As I said, we're expecting this device to be on the cheaper end, giving us most of the specs we want at a cheaper price. And that hole punch just can't be manufactured at the moment with an AMOLED screen unless you're Samsung. So if you want an AMOLED screen, you can't do the cutout. You have to give us the notch. This one has a big battery too, 4,420 milliamp hours. That is really, really big. Coupled with a Snapdragon 712, that means incredible battery life, absolutely, from this phone. That's actually amongst some of the biggest batteries I've ever seen in a phone. So you're gonna get really, really great battery life out of this, especially with that OLED screen as well. It will have a triple camera at the back, not really a triple camera. There's an ultra wide at 8 megapixels. I'm assuming an ultra wide because that's how Vivo are setting up their phones now. A 48 megapixel main sensor. I'm assuming that's the Sony IMX586. It could be the 582. Doesn't really matter. The images you get out of those are very, very similar anyway. And in fact, Vivo have already shared some images from the device. You can have a look. They look fine. They look good enough. These are taken off social networking sites, so they're going to be compressed anyway. It's not going to be the full might of what those images actually look like. But a 48 megapixel sensor in 2019 seems to be the only thing to go for. If you don't have 48 megapixels, then what are you doing with your life? You have to have that. And that 8 megapixel, I assume, is going to be an ultra wide. And then the third camera is going to be a 2 megapixel, I assume, depth sensor. So not actually a triple camera, only 2 imaging units. But for the price, that's around about the same as the competition give us. The price should be around about 1,400, 1,600, maybe topping out at 1,700 RMB. So that puts it in line with maybe the new CC9 from Xiaomi. That's a good phone, and it also has a double/triple camera at the back with an ultra wide and a main 48 megapixel sensor. So it looks very similar to the CC9. I'm assuming a similar price too. That would be about 1,700 RMB. So it looks like a good phone, decent price, decent specs, under-screen fingerprint sensor, which is good, a huge battery with the Snapdragon 712, which I think is a good processor overall. We'll just have to wait till the 31st of July to see what the thing looks like in person.